stay dry. Absolutely. And moving on. So after a day of such serious and solemn news, maybe a bit of comic relief is necessary. Our next guest, Eliezer, or Lazy Gordon, a pro basketball player turned comedian, joins us now. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Lidal. I didn't turn nothing, really. I was always in that field.
Because it's unusual to be a pro basketball player, right? You played for Maccabi Tel Aviv.
Yes.
So how did you make that transition from basketball to stand-up comedy?
Well, the show that I have on the 14th of February, it's a Valentine night special where it actually involves my music. I write my comedy through the songs I've written. I have over 120 songs. And then I find myself citing songs without my piano just to get a little more of my music out there. And it's just an amazing feeling that no one demands songs that are not mine during my show. So I guess it's interesting enough, as I'm talking right now to trying to get my special to Netflix or Amazon Prime or Disney or Hulu, whoever would be more interested. And I think after watching so many specials out there, I realized that I have something totally unique as far as my package that I called my show Nothing Special.
Nothing special.
Nothing.
So why don't we talk about nothing special?
What's up, girl?
Nothing special.
Yeah.
So, what do you talk about in your comedy special, Nothing Special?
What I do is basically I conjure between, for instance, a song of mine that if you Google right now, you'll find a contradictory, ambivalent, oxymoron term of optimism slave. If you go to lazygordon.com, you can actually buy tickets for the show in Ra'anana on Valentine's night. But also, you'll bump against that song. It's called Optimism Slave, and it's the first term ever made with contradictory thing like slavery and an optimistic thing like optimism, and I've put them together into a song. And that is exactly how I like to tackle the minds of my audience. And also, humankind has been just inventing copying machines to make our life so simpler. And I'm looking at, this is not in my show, by the way, and I'm just looking at all these copiers of our civilization. Everybody wants to copy success. They go to lectures and they want to hear rich people, so they copy their richness or their life, and no one's trying to be original. Well, in my show, because Netflix doesn't have a show like mine, okay? And we have a problem with Netflix because they'll hear my 120 songs and they'll say, oh man, we need to sign in for 4 specials. And therefore, what's happening here is I'm fighting for my uniqueness, for my own voice. At nearing 58, I mean, you just want to find your own game out there and fight for it. And and that's what I'm doing in my show, in my Nothing Special. But there's a lot of music there, and there's a lot of crowd participation. And it's scripted for the first time in my life, but there's also a lot of improv. And I don't touch marriage, and I don't talk stuff that usual comedians come and try to talk about. I try to bring universal stuff and make you think. So there's also a philosophical poetry and TED Talk aspect to the show where people actually, instead of laughing, they're just going like this. And they're kind of trying to fathom what was said. And to me, it's a huge compliment also to be actually heard. And for a guy who, I don't want to spoil it, but for a guy who admits on a show that he needs attention, it's incredible how I managed to win that. And I'm just very lucky because I've been persistent all my life, really. I mean, just diligent, just never giving up, which is kind of stupid, but this is who I am, to say the least. But we talk about stupidity also in large quantity in the show.
Stupidity in the show as well.
Yeah. There's a song by the name of Layers of Stupidity that ends that segment.
Okay. And, I want to get back to this because, you were a big basketball star here in Israel and Maccabi Tel Aviv. So how did that, really, I have to ask again, how did you transition from basketball to stand-up comedy, or was stand-up comedy always a part of your life?
Well, again, you're addressing the stand-up comedy, and I appreciate that because there'll be a lot of funny moments, but at the end of the day, I'm luring the people to actually remembering the song. I don't think there's another comedian out there who actually was on the level of basketball that I possessed back in the days, that actually can send you home like with Optimism Slave, and you had jokes, you had your moments, but you have songs to remember me by, and not only the jokes that were said. And as far as basketball is concerned, I do address it very much in my show because basketball has shaped and saved my life like galore, like you won't believe. And I owe basketball a lot. I still commentate on Sport 1 on channel, which I do for 14 years, and I still coach around the country. And basketball is a big part of my life. But the love of my life is probably entertainment, and I address that also in my show.
All right, well, Lazy Gordon, thank you so much for joining us, and good luck with your show.
Yeah, you can always go to my site, which is lazygordon.com, and there's tickets there waiting for you.
Absolutely. Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.